Hello everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, May 13th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, Google officially launched their mobile-friendly update version number 2. Some might call it Mobilegeddon number 2, but honestly, nobody really noticed that much. There were a few people that actually reached out to me before this was rolling out saying, I think something's changing, but the vast majority of people didn't really pick up on it. John Mueller announced it yesterday, saying now the mobile-friendly algorithm that was promised to be updated in May is now fully rolled out. It actually was rolled out slowly, I believe, over the past few weeks. And again, most webmasters didn't notice overall because a lot of them don't really check the specific mobile rankings. Ultimately, this is supposed to give a little bit more of a boost to mobile-friendly websites and the mobile results. And again, it's a page-by-page algorithm so that if you did not yet go mobile-friendly, you still can, and as soon as Google indexes those pages, you will immediately benefit from that thing. So go ahead and go mobile-friendly, and you should benefit from it. Google has denied any major recent algorithm update outside of that mobile-friendly one, which is the day after I wrote this post. There was a lot of chatter around tools updating. So if you go to Mozcast and you look at Mozcast, what you'll see is that they have crazy weather over the past few days, including yesterday being 90 degrees. And that's usually a signal that there was some type of major update. But I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that in the forums. I'm seeing some people, like I always see, reporting major changes. But I'm not seeing the mass number of webmasters saying there were major changes. Usually I'll see masses of people reporting that. Usually, otherwise I'll see, when there's a major update, I'll see masses of people reporting that. But otherwise, on a typical day, I'll see, 2, 3, 4, 5 people complaining, but not hundreds of people complaining. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the tools are all reporting major changes, but I'm not seeing anything here. And John Mueller from Google said, to be more direct, I'm not aware of anything crazy, but there's always changes on our side and on the web on a daily basis. And of course, Gary, blames Pete, who did Mozcast. What's interesting is that there is a lot of tools out there that are having problems trying to crawl and index and scrape the Google search results. And maybe that's causing a lot of the fluctuations in these tools, where maybe Google's kind of messing with them, or that the tools can't handle this prevention of them tracking them. But I really don't see any major update outside of the Google mobile friendly update, which we reported just before. Talking about updates in Penguin hasn't been updated in a year and a half. It's been almost, I think exactly, well over 18 months since the Google Penguin 3.0 update, and we're still waiting. It's very, very upsetting. There's no signs that Google's going to go ahead and push it out anytime soon. I see a little bit of chatter this morning. I'm not sure yet. I have to keep tracking it. If there is anything, I'll let you know over the weekend. But really, we haven't seen an update to Penguin in 18 plus months, which is very, very detrimental to businesses that are trying to come back in the search results. So hopefully we'll have good news soon for those, but I'm not optimistic at this point. Google has vastly updated the Google Analytics and Google Search Console integration. Now what you'll see is if you go to, it's rolling out to a lot of people. If you go to the Google Analytics report and you click on the acquisition tab, you'll see either a search engine optimization link or a Search Console link. The Search Console link will be new. If you integrated or tied your Google Analytics account with the Google Search Console account, and you're on this new version, you'll see Search Console on the acquisition tab. And when you see that, you'll see deeper integration. By deeper integration, what we mean is that you'll have access to not just the Search Console metric, which is impressions, clicks, CTR, and average position. You'll also have access to the Google Analytics metrics right in that report, including sessions, bounce rates, page views, and conversion metrics, including transactions, revenues, e-commerce data, or gold data. So for example, this is a report. The problem is you don't see it specifically with the query data because of not provided. Google's not going to give you to for query data. They'll show it for landing pages, for devices, and for other metrics, for location, but not for query data. So if you drill into a specific page or you click on the queries tab, you'll get only the Search Console data and none of the Google Analytics data overlaid, which is upsetting. But overall, there's a lot more data that you can actually play with now in the Google Analytics when it's tied directly to Search Console, which is really nice. And of course, there's that 3-day delay that the Search Console has anyway. It's not real time. Talking about Google Search Console, there is currently a major, it looks like a bug, where the index count drop in the sitemap report is showing a significant drop in the page's index. This is my site. You'll see we usually have about 22,000 pages indexed. Usually it's almost matches, almost perfect to the ones I submitted. And now it's down to 16. So usually it's perfect. It's exactly lined up with the submitted versus indexed. But you see here, it dropped yesterday by 25%. 25% of the pages on my site are not indexed. And this is across everybody, not just my site. It seems like a global issue. Google has not confirmed it yet. But if you do see this, I wouldn't panic. It looks like a reporting issue. It does not look like anything is going to go wrong on the ranking side. So you should be okay. But if Google responds, I will definitely let you know. Google Search Analytics in the Google Search Console now is reporting or tracking your knowledge graph panel, rich snippets, and local data. Google made an update on April 27th, which they put this update line here. And after that, Google's starting to track clicks and impressions slightly differently. Mostly around mobile apps, they said, but it could impact the regular traffic. But most importantly, well, not most importantly, but one of the biggest changes that John Mueller said over here, that they're now counting links shown in the knowledge graph or knowledge panel, rich snippets, as well as the local results, which they didn't do before. So definitely take a look at that because it might have fluctuated or changed your search analytics impression data. More on Search Console. So supposedly, John Mueller hinted at this, that Google's looking to bring voice search data to the Search Console as well as more AMP reporting. Of course, Google's constantly looking to improve stuff. There's no ETA on this. It says it's something they thought about. The problem with voice search, which is interesting, and Google has said this over and over again, that long tail queries typically don't get reported as well in the Search Console because it's less people are searching on it, and they only show the first 1,000 or so queries. And because of that, voice searches usually tend to be longer form queries. People are asking questions and so forth. And because of that, you might not see all those voice search. But if Google could tag them as voice search, if it happens a lot, it would be really cool and be very helpful, I guess, for webmasters. Google is testing in the search results black instead of blue links. So this is pretty big. We reported this over the weekend, actually. So if you go to the search results, some people are seeing black links instead of the blue links. Here's more examples of black links. Usually these are blue, but now they're black. At least some people are seeing that. Google's been testing a lot of things this weekend as well, so that's fairly interesting to see. Let's skip over here for a second. Google's also, as we reported a week ago, we actually reported last week in this video, that Google's testing more spacious results. And the problem is, more people are seeing this now, a lot more people. And because of that, it might be something that Google's rolling out. I did email Google, they're looking into it, or they hopefully get me a statement on this. But basically, here's Dan Barker showing you the old, and now the more spacious, see, even like you see the spacious here. So it looks like Google's going to be launching this soon. They're rolling it out very widely, and I guess Google might be pushing out a more spacious version of the Google search results. Google News has launched a new local source tag. Basically, the point is it's automated. So if Google figures out your site is more about local news, like let's say you're a local newspaper, and something breaks nationally, like some type of scandal or a big fire or something like that, and you're a local result, Google, or your local source, Google might go ahead and boost you above maybe like the CNNs or the Wall Street journals that are reporting your local news. And that's called a local source tag, and it's all automated, and that's Google's way of trying to promote the local newspapers when it makes sense to do so. Bing is testing showing a Twitter carousel just like Google does in the Google search results. So here's an example. You can see the Twitter carousel for Twitter, and you can just scroll through those tweets. I don't see it myself, but Bing is testing this just like Google has. Google AdWords has banned payday loans and high interest rate loan websites from advertising on their website. They did this because they want to protect their searchers. I don't know really why it's that bad. I mean, people searching for payday loans should probably get payday loans in the ads, and it shouldn't be an issue. People searching for maybe generic loans maybe shouldn't, because they might be confused about it, but it's only specifically searching for high interest loans because they can't qualify for others. Give them what they want. But again, this is Google's decision. I totally understand that. I don't know a lot about that, so hopefully whatever. But Bing, on the other hand, Bing Ads is banning third-party technical supports, which is interesting. They're saying a lot of these third-party technical support, computer services companies are scammers, and they're just ripping people off and taking their money and not helping them, so they're banning all of them. Very interesting. So this Bing said this policy change reflects a commitment to lead the industry in providing a safer experience for all our end users, including popular, most vulnerable to online scams and online fraud activities. So I guess there's a lot of fraud activities around helping people with their computer problems. Bing, sadly, on the webmaster side, has been non-existent. Since Dwayne Forrester left, they pretty much haven't done anything. Dwayne Forrester even said so. Dwayne Forrester was the former basically Bing webmaster outreach specialist at Bing. He left, and he said, you know what's sad? No one has published on the big webmaster blog in almost 6 months. It's been 6 months actually today. And the problem is, you see, there's tons of threads about things not working. Webmaster Central, Bing webmaster tools, certain communication around indexing and so forth with Bing. They have been non-existent. The Bing ad side, the advertising side is great, but when it comes to the organic side, it's like nobody's there, and they're not communicating at all, which is what it is, but it's just something I had to point out because people say, why don't you write more about Bing? I'm like, so talk about yourself, Bing. Talk about what you're doing. Finally, this is awesome, Gboard. Gboard is basically an iOS keyboard. An iOS keyboard that Google built and launched yesterday. Show you an example. So you basically have this keyboard. It works great. I have tested so many third-party keyboards on iOS, and I'm really going to stick with this, I think. It types well, it's fast, it's responsive. The cool thing for Google, obviously, is that they get search in every single app that has a keyboard. So as you're doing this, I guess Google's taking this data and bringing it to their database of some sorts. But it works very well, and it has this button. When you click on that, you can share local results, you can share search results, you could actually search for GIFs, which is, I find a lot of fun. I like using GIFs and so forth. I definitely recommend, if you're using iOS, give it a try. It's really cool, very fun, and very quick. I think this might replace the Apple keyboard. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is Search Buzz News. This is Search News we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week. Again, today is Friday, May 13th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.